Welcome to the Realm of Immersion, the podcast where we venture beyond the screen to the worlds of movies, TV shows, and theme parks. I am your host, Andrew Reyes, and joining me on this very first episode, she happens to be my very best friend who happens to appear in a lot of my YouTube videos, and also happens to be a huge Disney fanatic known as the happiest Lizzie on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, Lizzie Creson.
Hi.
Just hi. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, how are you doing today?
I am doing swell.
Swelly. I don't know, I made up that word.
Yes.
All right, well, I might as well start off with, describing what this podcast is, as far as, that. Obviously, we are going to talk about movies, TV shows, and theme parks. Generally, it's just stuff that, I just love to talk. I love talking about movies and TV shows when I watch it. And of course, many of you who know me from my YouTube channel, or just in general, know that I love theme parks. So that's definitely a lot of stuff we're going to be covering on this podcast and in the future and stuff, with a lot of other special guests as well. But on today's episode of the podcast, we are going to be watching and talking about the 1991 Disney classic Beauty and the Beast. Now, I want to ask Lizzie, what is your relationship with the 1991 Beauty and the Beast film?
I would say she's my boyfriend. No, I'm kidding. I would say it's my favorite princess for one. Like, Belle's my favorite princess. And also, it was my favorite, almost my favorite Disney movie growing up. So, I have a strong relationship with this movie.
Yeah, I met you, a long time ago, and I remember, you telling me, I was asking you, what Disney things you liked, and Beauty and the Beast, you always said was, your number one favorite Disney movie. Mm-hmm. Now, for me, I had never seen Beauty and the Beast in full until 2016, when I was pretty much in my freshman year of college.
That's insane.
Yeah, I know. I
watched it as a kid, many, many times.
Yeah, I did not have the pleasure. I saw it in spurts, little bits of it on TV when I was a kid, but I never fully watched. I never sat through the full movie, and whatever. I didn't know too many references. I didn't really know the names that well or whatever. I didn't really grow up with this particular Disney movie as much as Lilo and Stitch or other Disney movies until 2016 in college. I recall when I first watched it in 2016 in full. I was just kind of okay, Lizzie loves this movie. I'm going to finally watch this. I'm just going to watch it and see what it's like. And I liked it at first. I didn't think too much of it. But then kind of as the days go by after I first watched Beauty and the Beast, I was kind of this is actually a great movie. I tend to think back at just random moments where I'm Beauty and the Beast is actually really great now that I think about it. And then a year later when the live action remake came out and we all went to see that in theaters, I was on the remake.
Yeah.
And it actually, to be honest, the live action remake made me appreciate the the 1991 version a bit more. I hesitate to say original because, it's not the original Beauty and the Beast, because there is, the French. Is it a French movie? I forget. I don't know.
Yeah, it's French.
Yeah. It is French. I'm dumb.
Belle.
Yes, there we go. I know it was called La Belle et la Bête.
Yes.
So, what's your favorite memory with Beauty and the Beast? As far as do you have a favorite particular memory involving Beauty and the Beast in any way?
Let me see.
She is making that face.
It's a thinking face.
She is currently making her thinking face.
The concentration is real.
It could involve the parks.
Oh. Well, then, that helps me. I would say my favorite thing I ever got to do was the first time I ever got to do the Beast Castle like, Be Our Guest restaurant.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, I don't even know if I knew it existed before I got there. So it was just this whole new thing I didn't even know about. And it just, like, blew me away because it was my favorite movie growing up. And I was blown away by the ceilings because they actually had, like, what looked like the angels in the clouds. And it was like, oh my god, this is so pretty.
I remember being absolutely jealous that you went to the Be Our Guest restaurant before I did.
Oh, yes.
I remember that was like, 2015? And so that restaurant had been open for 2 years at that point. And even though I hadn't watched the movie that much, I was still jealous because it was like one of the fanciest, biggest, most probably expensive restaurants
Not for lunch.
on Disney property. Yeah, not for lunch. Lunch, I think it's particularly cheap.
It's like under 15.
Yeah, okay. So around that. But still one of the more immersive restaurants on Disney property because, and the inside of the place really does look like Beast Castle. Mm-hmm. Although I should also mention, if we are talking about theme parks, as far as Beauty and the Beast in... the Beauty and the Beast, wow. As far as Beauty and the Beast in the Disney theme parks, there's the Be Our Guest restaurant in the, like, I think Enchanted Forest section of Fantasyland, as well as Enchanted Tales with Belle, which you also did, I think, in 2015.
I did. Same day.
I didn't really think that much about Enchanted Tales with Belle, because I thought, oh, it's just a story time thing for kids.
Yeah.
And it is, but they still put quite the bit of effort to making it magical. Yeah. Like, the mirror expanding into, like, this time-traveling thing, or going back in time and stuff. Yeah. Like, turning the mirror into a actual doorway, which is interesting, and having an animatronic I forget the name of the wardrobe, animatronic wardrobe, there it is, I don't know, and an animatronic Lumiere and everything. Like, I was thinking, wow, this much effort for just story time for little kids, which is nice. But and obviously I can't really think of every single Beauty and the Beast thing, but I know that they just recently opened, or soft opened, I'm not sure, the Beauty and the Beast trackless dark ride in, I think it was Tokyo Disneyland, in their new Fantasyland expansion. And I'm avoiding spoilers because I want to actually be surprised if I ever go to Tokyo Disneyland.
Watch it be like 15 years from now.
I know.
And then you're like, wow.
It's still a goal for some time in the next few years, but we'll see if I get there. But I have seen clips of it, and no spoilers, but it looks like amazing. Like, it looks like one of their best rides ever. I don't know when I'm going to go to Tokyo, but I want to go to Tokyo.
Me too.
But anyways, as far as Beauty and the Beast, we should get on and with watching it. We will be right back to give you our thoughts afterwards on Disney's 1991 classic, Beauty and the Beast. Alright, so we just got back from watching Disney's 1991 Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, it's still a great, fantastic, animated film and everything. Although, okay, so as far as, like, this particular viewing, I noticed, we both noticed a bit more stuff with within this movie and stuff, and I took notes so that way I don't forget them all.
Yeah.
Lizzie, what did you think of this, like, particular viewing?
Well, I definitely noticed more as I went through. I noticed little small things that I feel like that happens every time I rewatch it, though. I always notice a new detail that I hadn't seen before. I noticed I appreciated the music more this time around. Like, what's a Disney movie without a good soundtrack? I don't know.
I was gonna say Chicken Little, but I don't know. Without a good soundtrack?
Yes.
Probably that. No, Home on the Range, maybe. I'm just thinking of their worst animated movies, as far as, like, worst soundtracks or anything. Although, I mean, Chicken Little has, like, one or two bops. I don't know. Anyways, I guess I get what you mean as far as, like, what were you saying about the soundtrack?
I was just saying, like, it's a pretty solid soundtrack, and there were songs that I felt like I appreciated more this time around.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Around.
Let me actually go to my notes because I definitely, pointed out some things that I was just kind of like, this is this is interesting to talk about or something.
Yeah.
So obviously starting from the beginning of the movie with the windows and just that, like, I love that it's like a very simple way to tell your backstory, but also a very artistic,
artsy, yeah.
a very artsy way to tell your backstory.
Yeah.
It very much is also very French in a way.
Yeah.
Like, like as far as the colored glass or just,
Was
as far as
glass French?
I don't know if that necessarily like originates from France. I just know that like that's definitely part of their culture as far as French art.
Oh, okay.
There was something about like, the flower or the enchanted rose blooms until until Beast's or the prince's 21st birthday.
Yeah.
I found that very interesting because so up until he's like 21 and then like what, he dies or something?
No, it was just
or he's
that
he's
it stays forever.
Oh yeah, he's cursed.
Because it was reversible up until that point.
So he's cursed to be a beast forever, if that's the case. And then there's, of course, Belle's opening song. Just the whole song is called Belle in particular.
Yeah.
Beautiful song, great sequence and everything.
Also, I love that she's the only character in blue. In the
very, very,
They did that on
much.
purpose. They were very deliberate in what they did.
Oh yeah, like everyone else in the town is just any other color besides blue. And actually, I mean, all the other colors are very a particular color pattern. If you kind of, I don't know, I always felt like everyone besides Belle had a particular color pattern to them, except for Belle, obviously, who had to stand out.
Yeah.
And Gaston kind of stands out a little bit too.
Yeah, because his colors are so bright.
Yeah, it's like just bright red, while everyone is kind of red.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like a softer red.
There's a few things in that like whole song sequence that I, notice is all obviously in the background.
Yeah.
Because I think it's definitely on purpose that the audience particularly focuses more on when Belle's passing by versus whatever's going on in the background, like this pig chasing boy. I just have that in my notes, pig chasing boy, who oddly enough looks like Link a little bit. I don't know.
Interesting.
There's like too much going on in the background that I can't really point them all out and everything. But I noticed pig. Just the
pig chasing boy.
It's the pig. I remember you were pointing out, is the story that she's reading...
No, I was saying I had heard that it was.
Yeah, the book that Belle reads during that during the whole song is apparently either like Snow White or Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty, one of the three originals. I actually did look it up on Quora, which I'm not sure if it's right, but apparently the answer is Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
It's from Quora. I'm not sure if it's the right answer, but I'll go with it. It's Sleeping Beauty. She's reading Sleeping Beauty. Something about Prince Charming. It's not Prince Philip.
Yeah.
It's Prince Charming. Also, just the fact that we are introduced to Gaston with animal cruelty.
Or hunting.
Or hunting. Well, he kills a duck. That was the first...
Yeah.
That was the first thing. Basically playing Duck Hunt. He's just talking about, like, how great he is or something like that. Thank you. And just immediately is like, I am going to have Belle as my wife. Like, just the lyrics in his part. I don't remember the exact lyrics. I just know that I have in my notes. Gaston first sees gorgeous, Belle, and immediately decides wife.
Wife.
Just someone...
She is wife.
Just see someone who is just, gorgeous physically, and is like, wife.
You are wife now.
You are wife now. Be wife to me.
Be wife to me now.
I also, kind of, like, in this particular viewing, it felt more of more like a French town this time around. Like, I don't know. I always felt that it was, like, just a small village, whenever watching this movie. But then just, like, the more deeper Belle goes into this town, and then it kind of zooms out and everything, and you look at the backgrounds, it feels more like a bigger, like, French town.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't fully realize this at first. This feels like something that should be common and obvious.
Yeah.
But I just felt it more this time. I don't know. It's very interesting. I don't know. That's weird. And actually, what's kind of funny, we were also watching this video. I forget the title. It was the Belle opening song, but all the lyrics are just
describing the scene.
Yeah, all the lyrics are just describing what's happening. One of the points that they actually kind of make in that video in the lyrics is right after Gaston is like, "Yes, I'm gonna make Belle my wife," or something, and then the crowd like interrupts him and goes, "Oh, there she goes," and like Gaston is trying to escape the crowd and literally goes he literally goes, like, breaks into the house, like, right next to him to just escape the crowd, and then hops on the roofs. The lyrics are saying, Gaston commits breaking and entering, or something like that.
Oh my god.
But let's all totally just ignore Gaston while he breaks into someone's house.
And I'm like, oh my god, I didn't notice. Gaston literally breaks into someone's house. Just to get away from the crowd. But yeah, after the song's over, Gaston just goes up to Belle and is like, hello, and just kind of, I don't know, I guess he's just trying to make conversation or something by just being like just taking her book and being like, how can you read this? There's no pictures. Because he clearly can't read above a 3rd grade level. I mean, it's no secret Gaston is just insanely sexist and everything. Like, that's pretty much the whole point to his character.
Yeah.
Like, he is just an a-hole, and, there's just a bunch of other girls. It's like, of course, the 3 blonde girls. Or, remember you called them... I remember
the Bimbettes.
You called them the Bimbettes.
Yes.
Which is so funny.
Bimbo, but et.
Yes.
Bimbette. Yeah.
And Belle literally calls him positively primeval, and he has no idea what the hell that means.
Yeah, he's like, thank you. Didn't he say thank you?
I think he did say thank you, yeah. Why, thank you.
Why, thank you.
But yeah, then we go into Belle's house, and we're introduced to her father, Maurice, who, has a problem with this invention that he's making, and takes off his pants or something. No, his pants falls down, and, heart underwear and stuff. Because, kids' cartoons always have to have someone's pants falling down, revealing heart underwear, because that's funny.
It's funny.
Because that's
it's cuter.
It's funny, right? Because that was always funny. Was it funny? I don't know.
I think it's because men can't be feminine and have hearts. So it's like, oh, wow.
He has hearts on his underpants.
Wow, that's so funny.
I feel like we're analyzing too deep into the underwear thing. And another thing that you actually pointed out this time, Maurice is wearing unmatched socks. Like,
yes, one is striped and one is normal.
Yeah,
It's so cute.
I never noticed that until you pointed it out.
So cute. That's the type of stuff that I noticed. Like, little tiny things like that. I was like, oh my god.
It's that little touch that definitely tells us Maurice is just so crazy into his work, he does not have time to make sure which sock is which.
Yeah.
Did I say shock? Sock. Sock. Lock shock. Sock. And the thing he was inventing was a log chopper, which, then I think Belle fixes. And does Belle fix it?
I don't remember.
Whatever happens, it works, and then he brings the log chopper to the state fair.
Yeah.
Which, he goes on his horse, takes it with him and whatever, and then wanders through this dark forest, trying to find his way to the state fair, and, the forest is very dark and creepy. I'm convinced that Maurice probably did not have time to have full understanding of where the right way is to go versus the wrong way to go.
Yeah.
The horse is literally, I would believe the horse in this situation, because the horse is like, do I take the bright way where it has the sunset down that way, or the darker way that has a bunch of bats? And the horse is obviously like nudging the right way, but Maurice is like, no, we're going this way.
This way.
And the horse is just like, are you serious? I also love that, like, when they're going down that dark path, there was like a wind gust with a bunch of leaves on it, and apparently had the same sound effect from Frozen 2, where you were just like, oh, it's Gale.
Yes, because they were both red.
Because they were both red leaves.
Yes.
And had similar sound effects where it's just
Did
like, you were pointing that out. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Also, the forest in this part just reminds me an awful lot of like Sleepy Hollow. You know, I was like half expecting the Headless Horseman to come out, but no, it's just wolves. Wolves come out.
Yes.
And something, I think they ended up on a cliff or something, like when they were just running out of there. I think Maurice like fell off the horse, and then the horse is like the horse is like, screw this, I'm out.
Yeah.
So then, you know, Maurice, as he's running away from the wolves. Oh my god, my words. Then once he enters the castle, you know, we introduced to Lumiere and Cogsworth. When Maurice goes to grab Lumiere and not knowing that it talks, or not knowing that Lumiere talks, Lumiere just like faces toward him upside down and is like, hello.
Hello.
I just love that. I also have it in my notes that Cogsworth always seems fragile. Just every single time he falls, some parts of him come out.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, his guts.
They're basically his guts.
Oh no, his guts.
Oh god. I'm just imagining like a "Don't hug me, I'm scared" situation where it's
God.
it's a talking clock on the outside, but look at all these guts on the inside.
Ugh. No.
Ugh. I'm
No,
sorry.
thank you.
I'm sorry I made you all picture that. Anyways, and of course Mrs. Potts, played by the lovely Angela Lansbury. At this point, Angela Lansbury to me is like just very much is Mrs. Potts as far as her voice goes. But in this particular viewing, I was like, it just sounds like Angela Lansbury to me this time for some reason.
Yeah.
I think it might have been just because after I was watching Bedknobs and Broomsticks, I was just kind of like at that point, whenever I see Angela Lansbury, I just think of Angela Lansbury at this point.
Yeah.
But she's still, you know, great in this movie. You also said that like the Beast's entrance
Like,
always
scared me as a kid. He always just took me off guard when I was a kid. Like, I never actually knew when he was supposed to come in, so it was just like, oh god, when is this gonna happen? It could be any second now that he is just gonna start roaring, and I need to be prepared for it. Like, that was me as, like, a kid. I was always just, like, sucking myself up, like, alright, he's coming soon. He's gonna roar. He's gonna be scary. And then, yeah. And then he'd come, and then I would be like, okay, I'm okay now. It was almost like watching a horror movie for me as a kid.
During the Beast entrance, I was like, wow, I forgot how deep and powerful his voice was. Because, like, I really felt it this time, just how frightening his voice can be.
Yeah.
And just how scary, you know, he was as far as his entrance goes. But as a result, you know, Beast takes him prisoner. Yeah, and then we cut back to Belle and, you know, Gaston and whatever. Gaston's basically trying to propose to Belle and making this big deal out of it with like all these people, these onlookers basically, and LeFou's like, oh, I know, I'll strike up the band, and then and to be honest, every single time I hear LeFou saying I strike up the band, I think of there's a particular YouTube poop where where he says that, but instead of playing the it plays like hardcore metal music.
Oh my god.
Oh, I know, I strike up the band.
God.
I just love seeing Belle's face when she sees Gaston. It's just like the perfect way to describe women's reactions towards like very toxic, cringy men.
Or weird men.
Or just weird.
That are just too persistent.
And also you pointed out that like, I think it's when Belle is like against a bookshelf and is looking just kind of not at Gaston and almost looking at the camera. She makes kind of like a face similar to what Nani would make in Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, like, I think Nani made a similar face when she was talking to Bubbles. Because she looked like she was like, it was kind of like a cringe face, like, ugh, but also kind of like a smile, like, big. And it was just, it reminded me of Nani.
It kind of honestly reminds me of Mulan now. Like,
I could see that too.
Like, Mulan particularly,
Yeah.
like, her first time, like, just in the man camp. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
The man camp. I don't know. Belle opens the door and basically kicks Gaston out into the mud. And all we see is just his, it's just his butt in the air and the pig's sitting on it.
Yes.
To further hammer in.
It looks like they're trying to symbolize that he's a pig.
Basically.
It's like, ooh, that symbolism hit, though.
I also noticed that, when his butt's in the air, he kind of looks like he's wearing Mickey's pants.
Oh my god.
Because you see the 2 yellow dots, and it's just red, I don't know if that's symbolism for anything.
I don't think so.
But
I think it's more of an Easter egg. Like, hey, it's like Mickey Mouse.
That's a weird random Easter egg for Gaston to have.
Yeah.
When Belle basically gets out onto that field and just sings, I want adventure in the great wide somewhere.
Yes.
Just beautiful shot, beautiful animation. Just the way the grass and the flowers and her hair, her dress is just flowing in the wind.
Yeah.
It's just so perfect. It's
pretty.
It's just very, very beautiful animation. That's one of my favorite shots in the movie, though. And one of the most iconic shots in the movie, too. And I wanted to imagine that they would do a very great cinematic shot in the live-action remake, but they kind of just... I don't know. The way they did it in the live-action remake was just kind of panning around Belle, instead of just kind of literally straight up, putting the camera on the ground and looking up at her, kind of.
Yeah.
Dude, you could have totally done Sound of Music homage in the live action remake in a way, mixing with just, I don't know, they could have in the live action remake they could have done better.
Yeah.
It just seemed very generic when they did it in the remake.
True.
But getting back to the original, when the horse comes back and Belle goes to where he is in the castle and she enters the castle, and Lumiere is literally just immediately like, oh, what if she is the one who will break the spell? And I was just thinking, okay, random girl equals girl who will break spell.
Yes.
Because, it always...
That's how that works.
That's how that works. That whole time when, Belle meets with her father and it's it's supposed to be a very, sad moment because, he's prisoner and everything. But Lumiere's just smiling. I wasn't too sure about Lumiere's smile in that moment. It just felt...
Yeah.
I get it. He's eager to have this girl fall in love with the beast. But Lumiere, maybe lighten up, back up for a second and look at the situation.
Yeah.
Look how serious it's getting. Now is not the time to smile and expect things.
Yeah.
Then the beast comes in and is like, what are you doing here? Or something like that. When Belle basically exchanges her life for her father's freedom. Her eyes are just kind of closed when she says it. It's really heartbreaking for her. Because, she knows that it's kind of a sacrifice.
Yeah.
She's not gonna die. It's just that,
she doesn't know if she'll ever get out.
Yeah, exactly.
Or in that moment.
She also doesn't even know if she's gonna love the experience, of being prisoner with this
She expected
monster.
to not like it.
Ooh, especially when she asks Beast come into the light and then just faces what she has to deal with. Even that was, really hard for her to take. That also is to take in how, quote-unquote, ugly the Beast is. Which, yeah, he looks ugly, but he's also kind of... They show throughout the movie how cuddly he looks.
Yes.
I also loved that Lumiere is all like, maybe you can, show her to a better room or make some dinner for her or something like that. And then Beast just roars at him and is like, and then Lumiere is just like, then again, maybe not.
Then again, maybe not.
I kind of like the moments when Beast has a change of heart. Just the whole time when Beast shows her to her room and is just kind of walking around the palace. He's literally trying to be kind of a nice host to her mm-hmm. in a way, but is still he still can't escape the anger that he just has in his heart, You can go anywhere you want except the West Wing. What's in the West Wing? It's forbidden. It is forbidden. You will come to dinner. That's not a request. Just the random outbursts he has really stand out to me. Wow, that's...
Wow!
It cuts back to the village with Gaston, in his tavern, I would assume. I don't know why this line stood out to me. Gaston is like, that's more than I can bear. And then Luffy's like, more beer? It's G-rated.
It is.
Yeah. During the Gaston song sequence, Another guy with his underwear,
Oh,
you know, they just
more heart.
more
underwear too?
more heart underwear. Yes,
Oh my god.
they seem to have a thing with that in this movie, and also the lyric, "Nobody bites like Gaston."
Like what?
What?
Why do you know that?
That's why is that essential information for us to know? Okay, nobody bites like Gaston. Wow.
Wow.
Well, thank you for clearing that up for me. I've always wondered how he bites.
Yeah. That was something I wanted to know.
Ah.
Ah.
Gaston does spitting tobacco.
Ew.
I would assume that's what that was, that he was just biting and spitting. And he also eats 5 dozen eggs to help him get large. With the shells. Just, he gulps it. Doesn't bite into it, crack into it, he just gulps the whole thing.
Gulp, gulp, gulp.
Gulp, 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 glug, glug, glug. Also, very loud gunshots. You know. And then, Maurice barging in and just looking very distraught. Like, you can tell he's either seen, like he's seen a lot of messed up stuff. Obviously tells everyone that there's a beast that took Belle and stuff like that, and obviously everyone doesn't believe him.
Yeah, because of how he sounds.
And then, Gaston considers having him thrown into the asylum, and for some reason that is supposed to indicate that Belle will be his.
Yeah, like, I'd be like, thanks, dude. Now I really want to marry you. Like, you threw my dad in the psych ward. Now let me just get the ring. Let's do it. Like, what? That would make me want to not be with him.
Put a ring on me, dude. I just have it in my notes that after seeing a beast, Belle not so bothered by talking appliances.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I guess if you saw this, like, big talking monster, then, a talking wardrobe wouldn't be too crazy.
Yeah.
I guess. And the wardrobe saying, "Let's see what I got in my drawers." That does not sound...
That sounds weird.
That sounds weird.
That sounds very weird.
Have you ever walked up to someone and just said to them, "Let's see what I have in my drawers"?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure
strange.
everyone's flattered by that, right? If you can't tell, this is sarcasm.
Yes.
I hope...
Let's hope it translates.
And then it shows, like, the beast very impatient, waiting for Belle to come down and whatever, and then just kind of acts like an angry little kid. It's she's being so difficult.
Yeah.
And just Cogsworth, saying, "She's not coming." And then another beast outburst saying, "What?" What? I don't know why, but the way he said "what," just... It's not just "what," it's just "what?" What? Really extending that W and H. What? Okay. What?
Anyways.
And obviously just goes and is just like, "I'll break down the door!" And, he's trying to be, like, rational or whatever. He's trying to be very, like, calm about it. It's like...
He's trying to be patient.
He's trying to be patient about it and just like, "Come down for dinner." Please.
Please.
And Belle's like, "No, no, no," or something. And just the line, another memorable line from the beast. "Fine, then go ahead and starve." I don't know why.
That part kills me.
It just... Go ahead and starve. Wow.
But it's the way he says starve to the point where it could push some of the appliances back because there's so much wind. Go ahead and starve.
So much breath being expelled.
Yeah.
Or exhaled. Expelled? Okay.
Expelled.
Yeah.
Like out of school.
Then sometime after that, you got Lumiere and the Duster. I forget the name of the character, but the Duster thingy just making sexy time behind a curtain.
Sexy time.
Yeah, they're just, they're doing some fondling, I'm assuming.
Oh.
I don't know, like...
Fondling.
What do you think kids would think they're doing behind that curtain?
She's dusting his wicks.
His wicks.
Yeah.
Okay. But also he's lit. Like, okay.
He's lit.
His candles are on, I think, because all you see is like a bunch of like 3 glows behind the curtain.
Oh.
So it's just kind of funny that a duster It's like, okay, they're not worried about fire in that case. But, okay, we have that. And then we move on to the Be Our Guest scene, which is just...
God, are fun.
It's a lot of fun, too. It's just a lot of fun to look at. Very, like, colorful, very alive, too. I also pointed out in this that it's so much food.
Yeah, it was a lot of food.
Like, I mean, yeah, they have a menu, but they bring out so much.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering which... I forget. Maybe I have to rewind or whatever, but which one did Belle go with as like her entree?
I don't even know.
Was there even an entree?
Did she even eat?
Was it just like a huge sampler of things?
Was it just a big mukbang?
It's just a big mukbang.
It kind of
for
was.
her. Technically, you're just missing a video camera and just
And the other people for the collab.
maybe 1 million subscribers, at least 1,000. And also, the napkins, like the yellow napkins, kind of look like Belle's dress.
Oh yeah, the ones that were dancing.
The ones that were dancing in a circle or twirling in a circle.
Yes.
And then after the song's over, you know, Belle wants to take a tour of the castle and everything. And obviously she can't go around, like, everywhere because the West Wing is forbidden. And this line that Cogsworth says, yeah, I forget whether Lumiere or Cogsworth said it, but they said, "We can't go poking around in certain places, if you know what I mean."
I'm like, this is rated G. I mean, wow.
Well, you know, Lumiere...
Gumi?
I almost said Lumiere.
Gumiere.
Ooh, very goomy.
Gumi goom.
You know, Lumiere, you kind of went around poking around in certain places, if you know what I mean, with that duster earlier.
Yeah.
I don't.
I was like, oh.
And another line that Cogsworth says, "If it ain't Baroque, don't fix it."
But like Baroque is in time period.
Yeah.
Not broke.
You know, puns. Great.
Tiny puns.
Yeah. Then, you know, Belle kind of ditches them and goes, walks around the West Wing. And something about the animation when she's walking around the West Wing is so different from the rest of the movie.
Different how?
Like, something about the way Belle herself is animated when she's walking around feels very much more fluent. And also more, like, something about her eyes in there, too, feel a bit more bigger, too.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always... I've always noticed this, too. Like, the animation just feels different there. But it's great animation, though. She finds the enchanted rose and is like, "What is this?" And, you know, just tampering around with it. And then Beast being like, "What are you doing here?"
Ugh, that always scared me as a kid, too.
Like, "Get out!"
Yeah.
That's the Jordan Peele movie. Okay, I didn't have a joke for that one. But but yeah, Belle just kind of like leaves the castle, I guess, per Beast's demand. Then is attacked by some wolves, and you know she tries to fight him off with a stick. Then Beast comes in to the rescue and just straight up takes this wolf and just roars at him. And just at that moment, I'm like, yeah. And then after that, you know, Beast is injured. Belle just doesn't think it's right to just leave him there after him saving her. So then Belle comes back inside and then just tends to his wounds. That scene in general, I kind of liked, you know, with Beast being kind of difficult to work with as far as like with his injuries and stuff. Just Beast being like, "Oh, it hurts," and then Belle being like, "If it would stay still, it wouldn't hurt so much." I don't know. I just like that was their first...
Softer moment almost?
That was their first softer moment as far as their first softer interaction. And then it cuts, I think, to Gaston trying to turn Maurice into the asylum and whatever. But the guy that runs the asylum looks... I don't know. He kind of reminds me of that weird, creepy old guy in the Sleepy Hollow cartoon. I don't know if you know what it...
I don't.
I don't know. Just watch Ichabod and Mr. Crane.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did I say Ichabod and Mr. Crane?
No, you said...
I said Ichabod and Mr. Crane. It's actually...
You said Sleepy Hollow.
It's The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
Oh.
Sorry. Mr. Crane. That's great. There was also that moment as when Gaston goes to Belle's house and no one's there and tells LeFou to just stay there until they come back or something like that. And I'm just thinking, like, did LeFou really matchmake? Because, like, For people that don't know, at Epcot, I don't know if they still have it, but there was this Beauty and the Beast sing-along that twists around the story for some reason.
Oh.
Yeah, you remember that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where the twist in the story is that LeFou was matchmaking Belle and Beast the whole time. Which is the stupidest thing.
Yeah.
Like, why? How and why? It doesn't make any sense.
Why would he be on their side?
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense. And this was the moment where I was like...
I'm like, is this canon?
Yeah, and this was one of the moments where I was like, no. I don't think it's in LeFou's character enough in this movie to be like that. But I guess they did indicate in the sing-along that, this is just a twist in the story.
A twist.
Whatever. It's a twist.
What a twist.
What an M. Night Shyamalan... Not even M. Night Shyamalan. Screw it. I don't know. So we go back to there, and you can tell that Belle and Beast's relationship has, bloomed a bit more.
Yeah.
As far as like them kind of, at least being friends at this point. When Beast surprises her with the library, I remember thinking in that moment, okay, Belle has grown to like she loves books and she loves reading and everything like that. We get that. But she's grown with only a small library.
Yes.
A very
little.
like a room.
Like a town library.
It's a very tiny room of a library.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, surprised with this huge and very tall selection of books and just like freaking atrium of books, I would honestly faint.
I would cry.
That would be if I were Belle in that moment, I would probably cry, faint, or have to go to the bathroom because that's like every nerd's dream to just have like a wide selection of books, movies, something, this form of media. I just realized Belle is a nerd.
She is a nerd.
Like think about it. In modern day, like, instead of books, I mean, we do still have books, so there's obviously book nerds out there, but we have movies, which is like visual books.
Yeah.
So if anything, Belle was...
She's just a that era's nerd.
Basically. Nerdy Belle.
Nerdy Belle.
Like every moment after that, we get the sequence with there's something sweet and almost kind, and there may be something there that wasn't there before. Just basically montaging all their like great moments of just being, really good friends and just sort of being kind of lovey-dovey in a way.
Yeah.
I do love the snowball fight that Belle actually kind of starts, and then Beast tries to retaliate with a much more bigger just a huge snowball, and then kind of backfires when Belle hits him with another snowball, and then that big snowball just falls on top of him.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about it in the live-action remake, but in that remake, when they're doing the snowball fight, Beast actually does hit her with the big snowball.
Jeez.
I don't know, it feels kind of brutal. It's not that bad, but it feels brutal. The way they did it in the remake, I don't know, it felt wrong. It felt wrong too. Like, I'm just like, no, I don't like it. I love the line where they're getting Beast ready, and then Lumiere is like, you look so, and then Beast is like, stupid.
Stupid.
He even has an accent. It's like kind of, I look so stupid.
Stupid.
And then, of course, we move on to another very iconic, like extremely iconic scene with pretty much the title song of the movie, Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
And the dance scene where you see the yellow dress and the Beast in the blue getup. I don't even know his outfit.
Yeah.
And Beast is just letting out this really huge smile. Belle's just like, smiling only with the lips. But
why do you remember that?
I don't know. like I just see, you Belle's just giving this like nice little smile.
I can picture it too, though.
And then Beast is just kind of like just this huge, very teethy smile.
Teethy.
But also it's a cute smile.
You mean toothy?
Toothy.
Toothy.
A very toothy smile.
Yes.
And then they dance, and I love how the CG blends in so well with the animation.
Yeah.
It may, if you just focus on the CG backgrounds, it looks very dated to modern standards. But if you just look at the characters and just feel the moment and everything, it really blends so well.
It's timeless.
It's very, it's a tale as old as time.
Oh.
Ah.
There it is.
And you also pointed out how much you loved when they showed the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when they showed like the angel babies on the ceiling.
The angel babies.
They were babies, right?
The cherubs.
The cherubs. Is that what they are?
Angel babies.
Yes. I call them angel babies. I'm sorry.
They are cherubs.
Okay, they're called cherubs.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, they are pretty. It is a pretty ceiling.
It is very pretty.
Very artsy fartsy.
It's
But
also
without the fartsy.
You also pointed out that during the dance and during the song, like, because Mrs. Potts is singing the whole time, right? And there should be a band there. And it's this huge hall. This huge
ballroom.
This huge ballroom. Sorry.
Oh.
Me being very uncultured here. But yeah, Mrs. Potts and the band are playing the music while they're dancing in this huge ballroom. And you pointed out they would not, like, Belle and Beast would not be able to hear
Like,
Mrs.
unless they had
Potts.
a microphone, which I don't think they did that
Like,
far back.
from that distance, yeah, they wouldn't be able to hear Mrs. Potts as loud, because Mrs. Potts is not singing.
It would probably sound like
very
this.
loud.
Hold on. It would probably sound like this. Tale as old as time. I hope it translates well. We will find out after, but it just was very far away and just... I would imagine it to be sounding very far away in person.
It's
just a funny thought.
Add lots of reverb to it.
Oh my god, yes.
It just basically is like constant echoes.
Oh yeah, it'd be a lot of echoing and like farther away.
But yeah, and then once the song's done, it's just a beautiful moment. Off to the cupboard with you, darling. I think Beast asks her to stay. Like, are you happy here? While Belle is very happy with Beast, she still worries about Maurice, her father.
Yeah.
It really shows a lot of greatness in Beast's character arc, that he actually lets her in the West Wing.
Yeah.
And shows her, the mirror that can show you pretty much anyone anywhere. And obviously Maurice is just really struggling in the forest, I think.
Yeah.
And looking like really sick and everything. And it does say a lot for both of their characters that Beast lets her go.
Yeah.
Like, it's a nice kind of metaphor, like, if they do come back for you, maybe they are the one for you. In that moment, obviously, he's just like, I let her go because I love her. Beast has finally learned to love, but obviously Belle needs to love him in return.
Yeah.
Which hasn't shown yet fully, because obviously Belle is more worried about her father at the moment. That's definitely a priority there. But Belle goes back and tends to her father, and then Chip is also a stowaway.
A stowaway.
Sorry, I had to burp. I get like that when I have to burp.
Yes. Voice gets deep. Yes.
It's kind of like when you're trying to prevent coughing by just...
He's good. Yes.
Something like that. Anyways, I guess all the townspeople plus Gaston and the asylum cart are there. And then, they argue about, like, there's a beast and whatever. And Belle is like, show me the beast, with the mirror and stuff. And shows them the beast. And then now they believe there's a beast out there. But they're going by Gaston by being like, I say we kill the beast. That totally didn't sound like Gaston. But okay.
Yeah.
There's that very iconic line with... I'd say it's very iconic. There's that big line where, after Gaston calls Beast a monster, Belle, of course, says, he's no monster, Gaston. You are. I kind of love that when they brought it back in the remake, because, to be honest, that was one thing they didn't really need to change.
Yeah.
It's like, we kind of still need to point out the monsters out there. But, of course, then, we get that song where they're marching on to kill the beast and whatever, which I have said is kind of the least iconic song from the movie.
Honestly, I feel like it's one of the most iconic songs.
Really?
Yes.
How did it go? I forget. Like, I forget already. She literally can't remember.
Kill the beast! Kill the beast! Kill the beast! I don't fucking...
I guess there it is.
Like...
Sure. Oh, okay, yeah, I think I kind of get you there. Hopefully, this won't be DMCA'd.
From da-da-da-da-da.
Da 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 da.
If you say da-da a certain way, you will get copyrighted.
Da 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 da.
Da-da-da-da-da. Do-dee-do-dee-da.
Doody doody da.
Oopie-poopie-pa.
I also love that towards the end of the sequence when, Gaston has the mirror with him and it's still glowing, from far away in an above shot, it looks like a glow stick.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, Gaston, be ready for the rave. This whole fight happens between the villagers and the appliances, all the furniture and everybody. And a lot of cartoon antics ensue, lots of cartoony noises and Wilhelm screams.
Yeah.
And I have it in my notes that the chest is a man-eater.
He's a man-eater.
Bum, 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 ba-dum. Or that Nelly Furtado version. Man-eater, make your work hard.
The TikTok one.
Yes. Yeah, that's funny that's a TikTok song. I remember when that first came out. I'm old.
Well,
Anyways. But also, going back a little to the sing-along, this was something that pissed me off about the Beauty and Beast sing-along, is that LeFou, if he's the matchmaker and stuff, that means, like, he was helping during the fight, when clearly in this movie, like, LeFou in the sing-along is supposed to help the people in the castle, but in the movie, obviously, he is there helping the villagers. It's just like, I don't know why Disney made that decision to just have a sing-along where the twist is LeFou is the matchmaker of Belle and Beast and is part of the good side, when he clearly helped the bad side towards the end.
For real.
It's like, it's so dumb. I don't know.
Like, it's one thing to make him bi, it's another to make him on the side of the enemy. It's like, no.
You kind of have it... Well, the thing is, if it's supposed to correlate with the original story and you kind of mess up that continuity, it just... I don't know. That just feels more messed up than whatever they did in the remake. Because, with a remake is more open to fresh ideas.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to do something, if you're trying to Lion King 1.5 a movie, you have to at least make the continuity make sense.
Yeah.
And also, of course, when Gaston goes up to the West Wing or Beast's room and is just about to fire his arrow at Beast, Beast just looks and just doesn't care. He just looks sad and so depressed and doesn't care.
Breaks your heart.
Doesn't care whether or not he gets killed or not.
Yeah.
Like, that whole time when Gaston is fighting Beast, there's just no motivation for Beast to, like, get up and fight,
Yeah, it's almost like you forget it's animation for a second because of how deep it is.
Yeah, it's just like that one look just made me really just like, no, Beast, no, like, really care for the character. And then once Belle finally does come in, that all of a sudden,
His will to live is back.
And then he starts fighting.
He's like, okay, my woman is here. I can fight now.
Well, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
In a way.
If you describe it that way, it's weird, but I mean...
Still true.
It's still, like, oh, God. No,
Yeah. It's still.
How do I continue with that? Dang it. But Beast finally continues to fight and everything. And I also put it in my notes, climax equals no more hair ties. Because Gaston literally lets his hair down, and Belle lets her hair down. And,
It's like, it's getting serious now, let's take our hair ties out.
Come on out and fight! Everyone looking very just... letting that hair flow through the rain.
Everyone's looking like a model.
But yeah, once more, all the fighting happens and whatever. Beast finally has Gaston just kind of hanging by the neck over, like, this I should also mention the castle is way high up on like this hill, and there's like this river gorge all the way down below, like just many stories down below, and that's where Beast is hanging Gaston from. And Gaston is like, no, please, I'll do anything, really. No. It's like, wow. So that's the moment you will sound very vulnerable and like a pussy.
God.
When Beast is about to kind of like, drop him like all the way down to the river down below, there's this nice long shot on his face where his face changes expression from just pure rage to an overall realization, like kind of a revelation in a way.
Yeah.
It very much establishes his arc where it's like he needs to let go of his anger and his rage. I feel like he realizes that he would become a monster, a true monster, if he just straight up killed him right there.
Yeah.
So he just pulls him back in and just says, "Get out."
Yeah.
Belle calls to him and Beast comes up toward her, and then, all is good there, and then Gaston freaking stabs him right in the side.
It's like, no, you poo-poo head.
And then when Gaston's trying to go for another stab, he just kind of like I forget how he lets go. He just lets go and then just falls. He just falls.
He just falls.
That was Gaston's own fault. So
that's on you, buddy.
Yeah. So, you did. Bye. No one will miss you. Except for... No one. I don't know.
Maybe LeFou.
Maybe LeFou. So then we get, honestly, a really sad scene where... It's sad for a moment where, Beast is basically about to die.
Yeah.
And Belle...
And then she says, "I love you."
Belle finally says, "I love you" to him.
And then the petal falls.
And then, yeah, the final petal of the enchanted rose
right after
falls right after she says "I love you." So it's just kind of like, is it not? I mean, obviously because it being a Disney animated movie, there has to be a happy ending.
Yeah.
But for that moment, I was really, you get really invested with it too. Mm-hmm. Every single time, and then all of a sudden, a little firework, just a little pyrotechnic comes down. Comes down, and then many more pyrotechnics come down from the sky, or like falling stars, basically.
That's amazing.
And then all of a sudden, a lot of sparklies start going off, and then Belle's like, "What the hell?" So, and then Beast starts rising from the not ground, but from the floor.
Oh my god.
And, yeah, a Beast starts rising from the floor, and then it starts glowing and sparking and everything like that. And then just the transformation, the whole transformation scene in general,
yeah,
is just phenomenal animation, as far as just the transition from Beast to human is just so. It's pretty. So good. It's so
pretty.
The transition, while it kind of goes fast, it's so smooth.
Yeah.
It's
like one after another.
It's like
little by little.
It's like the fur doesn't fall off. It just like transforms into human. It's so good. I feel like I can't even describe how good the animation is in this scene.
Yeah.
But it's so good as far as just the transition from one to another. Finally, he is his human self, and just once Beast or human Beast turns around, and then it's just this really awkward face.
Yeah.
It's kind of this really big build-up.
Like deer in the headlights look.
It's kind of this really big, huge build-up to what he actually looks like, and the whole movie has been building that up too. We even see like a tease as to what he looked like in a painting, and Belle was about to like put the painting together, but then we never see that. But like as far as like towards the end, and when we finally get to see him, it just kind of, obviously everyone doesn't really like the human appearance of the Beast.
I do.
Oh, you do. Oh, like you do. But
Well,
like,
I mean, that first appearance is weird, but after that, he looks good.
yeah, like that first face he makes was just kind of like, if you're a certain height and then like the light is just glowing from underneath you, it looks almost kind of scary.
He also just went from somewhere between a buffalo, a wolf, a dog, a bear, and something else all in
Krampus.
one. Like,
Cra-
to human. You really think he's gonna look like he's having a good time?
I would say also to Krampus. No, actually, the live-action remake reminded me more of Krampus.
Because that probably... I don't think it was, like, painless.
What, the transformation?
Yeah. Because your skin's, like, stretching, but also going back to what it was. It's weird.
I didn't see that he was, like, in pain after the transformation. I felt like, honestly...
No, but he might be in shock. Like, oh, wow, this is... Wow.
He's more... I would say he's more relieved after that, too.
Maybe, I don't know.
Like, as far as being in a monster's body for quite a few years, it would definitely feel weird. And then all of a sudden now you're back into human. Okay, I need to readjust. Regardless, we finally get him as a human.
Yep. And then everything else is back to normal.
And everything else is back to normal. I also like that it took a little bit for Belle to actually realize that it was him. All she needed to see was his eyes to realize that it was truly him.
She's like, it is you.
Also, when I looked at, when they were kissing and stuff, I don't know why, but I got Tarzan and Jane vibes.
Ooh, I could kind of see it.
If you really, yeah.
I think it's not Belle as much as it is, like, how he looks in his human form compared to Tarzan. It's pretty similar.
I also want to make, I don't know if this is just the case for the remake, but confirming that the Beast's actual name is Adam.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's...
So it's supposed to be Prince Adam then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because a lot of people have been saying, like, the Beast has no name? Are we just going to call him Beast the whole time as a human? No, he has a name. They just didn't have time to reference it, I guess. It's like, what's your real name, Adam? I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like...
I think it's more of like it's in the promos.
It's kind of like one of those things in the Polar Express where we really don't know any of the kids' names. They just called Hero Boy.
They don't have names. We never learn them.
Yeah, exactly. But in the credits, they're just called Hero Boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hero Girl, something like that.
Yeah.
Conductor. Everyone turns back into human. Their human selves basically look like their appliance selves. It's kind of weird. Like Lumiere and Cogsworth, Mrs. Potts and Chip, and the dog that was a stool the whole time or something, or a footstool. Yes. I call it a footstool. I know it's called something else. Mm-hmm. Everything's back to normal, and then they just straight up copy the animation from Sleeping Beauty with the with the dancing at the end, which is also kind of interesting since I guess Belle was reading Sleeping Beauty, so why not rip off from Sleeping Beauty with the dance? Is that supposed to be the point? I don't know. And then end movie with a stained glass window with Belle and Prince Adam on it.
Yes.
Overall, I mean, Beauty and the Beast in general is just, I don't know, it's just a wonderful Disney classic. Like, of course I would watch it again and again and again and again. There's no reason for me to stop watching it because it's good. I feel like there's really nothing else to say about it. It's just great to talk about the story in a way, and just to talk about like some of these like cool little things in there too. So as far as like rating this movie, I'm gonna I might change this rating system in the future. But as of right now, Lizzie, would you give Beauty and the Beast a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I mean, definitely a thumbs up.
It's like an obvious thumbs up.
I'm not going to say thumbs down.
Yeah, obviously a thumbs up. I'm giving it a straight up thumbs up. So
I would get more specific with it than that.
Yeah, I know. I'm probably going to change it at some point in the future. It won't be a thumbs up, thumbs down thing, but I'll improve it at some point. But I do want to have some sort of rating system in there. But yeah, Beauty and the Beast is currently, of course, on Disney+. So if you want to go and watch it yourself, even though I gave the whole story away, obviously, if just go and watch it on Disney+. And yeah. So Lizzie, do you have anything you want to plug?
You can follow my personal page, Lizzie Creson, on Instagram, Creson. And I mean, I do have a Disney page, but I don't really post on it as much lately. But you can follow me on it if you want. Because I usually post when we end up going up to like the Disney area.
Yeah.
So I guess you could follow that. It's Happiest Lizzie on Earth on Instagram. But yes.
And you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at aproduction09. You can also follow this show on Twitter at Realm Immersion. I also have a YouTube channel where I post a lot of theme park vlogs and other videos on youtube.com/AndrewProductions. And I have a Facebook page at facebook.com/AndrewProductions. You can find every episode of this very podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing, leaving a review, and rating us 5 stars. It definitely helps us a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in to this very first episode, and join us next time to see what else we experience right here in the Realm of Immersion.